YouTube, what up? This is Nathan Bratz coming at you with Unit 1 AP US History. So, in our history class, we were given an assignment to reflect over Unit 1 of our book, The American Pageant. In Unit 1, Kennedy and Cohen, the authors of the book, discussed the early environment of America and its discovery by the Europeans. Now, before any of this, however, we first discussed how history is perceived, how us as individuals have our own lenses or concepts and biases that we see through every day. In previous classes, we conversed about how in order to truly understand history, we must first have to throw away all of our concepts and biases. Now, I know what you all are thinking. How and why would one get rid of all previous beliefs? The first step towards understanding this process, we first start off by reading Chapter 1 of Howard Zinn's A People's History of the United States. You see, in previous classes of history, most of us are taught the information the teacher wanted us, the students, to know, and how history is just a timeline of events. However, by reading what Zinn had to say about perspectives and biases and how these all blind us from true understanding, it was clear to see that for me to really learn history, I had to, like Zinn, remove all of my concepts and biases that I had acquired earlier. So during one of our flex periods, we talked about right brain thinking and how we should see things for how they are, in the present, and not try to justify or understand them with our own beliefs and just try to simply view them. Now, this process aided in eliminating all outside understanding and helped focus what was truly in front of us. Now, by applying this theology to history, one can not only better understand the material, but can also discover new meanings within it. So, we've discussed how important it is to discard one's previous biases and concepts. Now, for some of you, that might not be enough to fully understand what I'm trying to say. So I decided to show an example. When we as Americans consider the American Revolution, we view it as a release from the harsh restrictions of personal liberties inflicted on the colonists by the British government. Yet once that lens is removed, we can see that nothing the king did was truly unreasonable. The king had the right to tax and generally control his subjects in the colonies, but the colonists saw otherwise. Now, in our learning of history, we are taught from the colonists' point of view, seeing the colonies as more than just an extension of Britain. In reality, when we look from an unbiased vantage point at the situation, we can see that Britain and the colonies had two completely different interpretations of the situation, which in turn led to the American Revolution. Now, in order to bring everything together that I just said, I'd like you to listen to this. Just as during the period of Enlightenment, great thinkers and scholars were able to remove the lenses that restricted their clear view of science and society as a whole. Now we, as students right now, must learn to shatter the lenses that prevent us from seeing the reality of history and the reality of the present.
I